Is Trump more or less anti-Bolivarianism than former U.S. presidents? Well, that's the thing. I think that Trump wants to have a confrontation with the Bolivarian countries. He wants to have a confrontation with the Bolivarian countries to win votes in Miami, to sell weapons for the military industrial complex, and to look like a hawk. But in reality, Obama was more of a danger to the Bolivarian countries. I'm just being real with you. I think that Obama, his strategy was to kind of use soft power manipulation, gradually seep U.S. influence into those countries, and that was his strategy. And we know now, it's been revealed, what was Obama doing when he went to Cuba? What was that about? It's been revealed what that was about. They had a Cuban Twitter all set up, a social media app. They were going to stage a color revolution in Cuba. And the Cubans exposed it. They infiltrated the plot. They revealed it, right? The idea was there was going to be more U.S. businesses opening up in Cuba, and then all of a sudden there'd be these people protesting, and they wouldn't be against communism. They would just be against dictatorship. They'd be for freedom, and it would be rumored that Fidel was about to kill them, and so then the U.S. troops would go in to rescue them. The whole game plan was written out there, and the Cubans were smart enough to infiltrate it and expose it. I sat in meetings at the World Festival of Youth and Students and listened to the Cubans show us slides of what had been planned. The whole Obama going to Cuba thing was all set up so they could have a color revolution. It was going to be right, just like Libya. You'll remember Obama started sucking up to Libya right before the Arab Spring, right? And that there was relations, and Gaddafi called Obama my little African son. It was a soft power coup strategy. That's what they were planning to do in Cuba. Didn't work. Didn't work. They prevented it. And the other thing was Obama was hoping to prevent a Chinese military presence in Cuba, right? There was talk of maybe some kind of Chinese military base in Cuba, and the deal was we'll recognize it. And Trump hasn't rescinded that. Trump has maintained there is still U.S. diplomatic relations with Cuba, mind you. Now, there's been these weird chemical allegations of, spraying chemicals on people and sound weapons, and there's weird stuff going on in Cuba, but there's still in America a Cuban embassy in Washington, D.C., and they maintain that, and Trump, but he's escalated. He's increased sanctions on Cuba. He has, with Venezuela, he's been very aggressive, and that's because he wants votes in Miami, and he's kind of kissing up. It's interesting. The Netanyahu crowd, the Likud crowd, the Likudniks in Israel, and the Miami crowd, the anti-Castro fanatics, they walk hand in hand, right? And the Shah supporters, the people that are part of the Shah, they all walk hand in hand, and they're not the mainstream view of imperialism. They're like a special interest group, and they're tied to the military-industrial complex. It's that soft power, Jimmy Carter, Obama strategy. That's the mainstream view of imperialism. Stage color revolutions, destabilize with social media, get friendly to countries, and that's the strategy. And, Trump, it's direct attack, invasion, theatrical bombast, just anything he can do to just kiss ass to those people. He doesn't care about the long-term interests of imperialism. He wants to make money for himself, for his supporters in the military-industrial complex. And so really, I think Obama is more of a danger to the Bolivarian countries. That said, though, because Obama's strategy is to do business with them, Obama's going to be less directly hostile in the short term, right? And, he'll want more to increase trade, and the Bolivarian countries could benefit from increased trade in the context of Obama hoping that he can seep in U.S. influence. So it's complicated. I'm not going to tell the Bolivarian countries who they should be more friendly to or whatever. I'm just telling you it's a difference in strategy. Is it soft power manipulation and coups, or is it direct military threats and invasions? That's the difference. That's the difference. Kinky loves me for saying it. Well, thank you, Kinky. Needs to be said. That's the difference. At Black Agenda Report, they refer to Obama and the Democrats as the more effective evil. I think that's interesting. The more effective evil.